And good morning from Scotty Ray Candace. What day of the week is it?
It is Friday. It's finally Friday.
Yeah, little George Jones for it.
I am so glad it's Friday, y'all. I'm just worried about this weather, though.
We've got some issues coming this weekend, and if you've ever listened to me, now it would be a good time to do that. Now, we don't do a lot of this. We don't do a lot of snow, and we definitely don't do a lot of ice.
Yeah.
But it is coming, and with ice, let's go back over this again before we even start showing anything. Of you can lose power.
Yes.
Power is very important. You can't keep warm. If you don't have gas in your home, you'll be without a way. So start now making preparations. Let's start on your pipes outside.
Right.
Second, let's move to your pets. Let's make sure that they're taken care of. Your livestock, that you put out extra hay. If you got cows, go ahead and get extra hay ready for them so they can get to it. But your puppy dogs, your kitty cats, I don't know about goats. I've never dealt with a goat.
Yeah, like a lot of people have chickens. I'm not even sure what the how to go about doing that. I know people put lights and stuff out there for them, but with the cold weather that we're supposed to get, that we're not used to, I'm not sure how much a light will help, But
my studio house chicken expert is in another part and not with me now. That would be my wife.
Yeah.
That knows all about chickens that I know nothing about.
But it is going to get really cold and
It
really
is.
messy, I think. And I think my daughter is up in Starkville, and I think they've already started getting some sleet.
This morning. And let's turn to radar this morning and take a look at what we've got still showing this morning. Here's radar this morning. Let's zoom in on this. This purple area all through here that you're seeing is West Mississippi. And this is a winter weather advisory, and it's going to be in effect until 12 noon today. All right, what we've got less, it's been doing this up around Louisville and Starkville. Let's start at Starkville and work our way back toward Jackson. All right, we've got light showers still around Louisville area right now. Just to the west of town, downtown, getting a little bit still. I saw some pictures earlier this morning around Louisville that did have that. And you follow that out of Louisville on Ford Road there, through Rome, right south of there, these areas here, Hines, and above Highway 25 is going to have a little bit there near Calvary. Coming into Louisville, still a bunch coming down. All right, let's go up here towards Stark Vegas as we move up the map here. Sturgis is getting a large amount. Now, Starkville, as you mentioned earlier this morning, did have some.
It was
most likely, let's turn this forward. And that is going to move right on through Starkville here in the next little bit. So it's not over for them. This line that is here will move through Starkville. And again, it's not enough for the regular roads with the temperatures, but bridges still, even at this point, can become slick. So drive slower if you've got to go through those areas right now. And we turn this on in relation. Here is the campus of Mississippi State, and this is going to go right across Mississippi State here in the next little bit. All right, let's back down and go back over toward Jackson, Mississippi. Now, all of this area earlier this morning had it. There's bits and pieces. If we go here north of Vicksburg here, this is Highway 61. It's going to be a little bit here in this area here. Rural areas where this is there near Russellsville.
What is the difference in the lighter purple or pink and the purple?
The pink is what's coming down now. This is just a shade of rain here that hasn't quite turned to sleet, wintry mix yet.
Okay.
So it's still rain, all of that right there. Pink is definitely anywhere you see that right in these areas is going to be sleet. Anything that is solid white would be snow.
Right.
I can turn on here. If you turn on your legends up here at the top, this kind of gives you an idea of what we've got there.
Okay.
So I don't turn that on because I'll get to staring at that and then not pay attention to radar. So my apologies on that. But back over to Alexandria, Louisiana this morning, there's a lot of sleet coming down still there. As a matter of fact, let's switch now and let's go to some cameras across the state. Let's go up here north Mississippi. This is going to be Highway 49 at the Mississippi River Bridge. Let's turn this on. This is one of the cameras here. And if you'll look at this, ice hanging off the bridge this morning.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's cold weather there.
Yeah, when it can freeze in mid-drill.
Yeah.
It's cold, yeah.
Now, as we go up, let's go up here near and just see what conditions are, because I haven't looked at the roads going toward Memphis. This is going to be up here right before you get to the state line. It looks like, the roads, we got a little bit there if you'll look at that and switch this to a large. You see a little bit on the sides of the grass there, nothing affecting highways there. This is right before you get to Memphis at the state line. Let's switch over here and see if we see anything around Stark Vegas of what's going on there. This should put us somewhere near Mississippi State. And as you look at this, it looks all clear there at this time. Okay. Let's turn that up where everybody can see a big full screen of that.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. Okay. So, but they've got more coming. Now, while we're on the subject, let's just talk, let's jump to the forecast and okay. tell everybody what this is, because important of what we've got coming. Mm-hmm. All right. We had some stuff added to this that we did not have. Today, you're going to have a 60% gust of rain from roughly noon till 3. I know there's still some sprinkles outside, but the heavier will be from noon to 3. Gusty, it is a winter day, high of only 44. 70% chance of rain tonight, 60% chance tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow night, we now have a 20% chance of freezing rain after midnight. So when you wake up on Sunday morning going to church, it's going to be, well, iffy. 30% chance of freezing rain there also through 9. Okay. So it might be, just thinking out loud, it might be a great day just to watch a service from home or one online, especially if you're not used to driving in anything. It could affect the bridges. We have during the daytime on Sunday night with that 30%, 20% on Sunday night, and then we really get it Monday night is when we're going to be really iced. 60% chance of freezing rain and sleet, and then a chance of snow on Tuesday night. Okay. So,
and
now,
all of that can, I mean, even if the temperatures, I would think, stay low at night, even after it snows, if it does melt at all, it could refreeze.
It could.
So,
now,
it's just going to get messy.
Here's what the National Weather Service gives us map-wise. Mm-hmm. Now, this is from today through Sunday. If you'll look at this right here, this is Philadelphia. This is going to be the Northwest, Winston County, Louisville that we pointed out. Mm-hmm. Y'all have a lot of chances coming in between now before the bad stuff gets here. And this right over here, as we look at Philadelphia, this is going to be Leake County, and then you move up to Atala County there. Mm-hmm. All right, we move forward. The dangerous cold weather. We're in the 1 in the meridian, but Philadelphia, Kemper, all of this is in that 2 of how cold it's going to be. So right above the line there, northern Lauderdale County, West Lauderdale, is going to be colder than, say, southeast Lauderdale area.
Yeah.
So keep that. As we look at ice accumulation, do you remember how the snow did in the West Lauderdale area, how it kind of cut across that last time?
Uh-huh.
Pretty much follow that line is what is projected for the ice this time, to where right where I am here, our studios are, on North Hill Street, it was okay. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean the bridges in between here and there won't be. And we're at 31 degrees on each one of these nights, and then Monday night, we're at 20. So whatever falls is going to be slick.
Yes.
You get to Newton County. Look at this now. Newton County, Philadelphia, it's rough. Then you get into the north side, just north of Philadelphia. You take where Neshoba Central High School is and go north toward the Coliseum. It's going to be significant threat. All of this red area here. Travel will be pretty bad. So you're going to most likely lose power because we talked about the pine tree thing yesterday.
Yeah, the pine trees are what's scary when, if you have pine trees that are above your home and you haven't had time to get the limbs cut or anything, just beware that those limbs, if we do have icing on the trees, if it ices over, that is dangerous because those limbs are not as strong as, say, like hardwood trees or, now, and those limbs tend to break. So.
Dangers. Everybody, most everybody, not everyone. Let me back up before I start spitting stuff that's not factual. Yeah. Generators, a lot of folks have them. Do not drag one of these into your home. Put it outside. It has to be ventilated. Mm-hmm. If you put it inside, the gas from that thing, that exhaust, will kill you while you sleep.
Right. I mean, if you have a garage, stick it out there. Don't shut the door down in the garage, but put it out there running. I mean, I guess you can run extension cords, obviously.
Yes, so, you can. Plug into the side and run it in.
So, don't ever put them in your home. And space heaters, if you do put space heaters, we can't stress enough to watch where you put those, what's around them. Make sure there's no curtains or blankets or even carpet. If they get really, really hot and you have them sitting on carpet, it's always a good idea to put them on a hard surface and then sit them down.
When we say check on the elderly, that's one of the things, if you've got an elderly neighbor, that they'll set heaters and things and just don't realize how close they've got it to something.
Yeah.
Check it, because you wouldn't want something to happen to them.
Right. And if you know somebody that does need gas or something, I know it's last minute, but just see if you can help them out by, calling for them, or if they can't call themselves or something.
I've heard of so many people, and y'all know through the years you've heard these stories too. If somebody that loses electricity, so they go over to the stove and they turn on that to keep warm, and then something touches it, somebody gets over it, gets a piece of clothing or a rag, and then the house is gone.
Yeah.
You got to be careful, extremely careful with all this stuff when you're trying to keep warm.
And we say all of this because we're not used to these conditions.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not used to these conditions, and so they try to just make do whatever way they can.
I'm redneck.
And,
I am with y'all.
we all are, I think. We all got some redneck in us. But
we just can't help it. We're going to build something we think's better than what the others got.
So everybody just be safe.
Yeah.
We can't stress it enough, just to be safe and be aware. And don't, if the roads are iced over and you don't have to get out in it, just don't.
Now, officially, I have seen nothing on closings for next week. As soon as that starts happening, we'll start reporting it and putting those up and keep a running tab of anything that may close. And I'm sure there will be some in between now and Tuesday morning at some point. But we'll get that information out to you as quickly as we can.
Right. And, like we said yesterday, Mother Nature can fool you sometimes. Things can go in a different direction. It
That's
just
correct.
can change by the day. But usually, Scotty Ray is accurate. We can all attest to that. So if we tell you, this in advance, it's just to get you prepared just in case. But we pretty much know
it's coming.
It is coming. So just be on, the lookout for it, be aware, and be safe.
And this is the day that Candace tried to make up. She come dragging in. I don't know if you can reach it over there. Can you reach that?
Yeah, I said I was going to get Margie's Mixing Bowl cupcakes. I did not get a chance to get them yesterday. And all the cupcakes are pink. So I just got him a king cake. Which is kind of like,
And explain, because thank you, but I don't understand a lot about Mardi Gras. I do not know a lot. What is
I don't
it
either,
about
but I just know a king cake is good.
But there's something hid down in it that if you eat it or you find it is good luck?
Well, they used to put a little baby in there, and I don't know, somehow or not, I guess
somebody probably swallowed it and got sued.
Yeah, my mother told me that the other day. I don't think they do that anymore because, I don't know how you don't know you've got
something in your mouth.
Something about this big that's plastic that especially if you're chewing something and you hit something like that. Somebody must have swallowed one. I don't know. I don't know that this has anything like that in it.
Okay. But king cake, here I come.
Yes.
I just can't help it.
Get you a cup of coffee. Get you a slice of your king cake.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see this, but I spilled coffee on myself earlier this morning.
I can't even tell it.
Boy, I get carried away with my coffee sloshing, going around. It wakes me up every day. Let's say some good mornings, Candace. We've got a few folks that are up watching this morning. We want to say thank you.
Yes, we do. We want to say Teresa Haggard's watching this morning, and she says, "Burr, it is very cold, and it's just going to get colder."
Yeah.
And then Debbie Stewart, hello to you, and Charlene Gaddy, good morning.
Les Alexander's up. Jan is back. JJ has been asking about you so much. Jan Bushman, if y'all know Jan, say hello to her.
We got to get Jan on here as a guest again.
And I will have a little I'm hoping chit-chat in the next 2 weeks, I'm having a board installed and I'll have another microphone installed, so we'll be able to have round robins and more microphones and more cameras, so to expand the studio. So we'll be able to do that very, very soon.
We might have to get her and Harriet on here.
Oh, Lord.
I think that would be that would be a ball.
Harriet Harper, bless her heart.
Yeah.
And do y'all know Harriet? She had a birthday back in January.
All right.
I just wanted to point that out, Harriet. How's that suit you? Also, good morning to, let's see here, Les Alexander laughed about the Stark Vegas thing. Yeah, that's what we all call it. I can't help it.
Everybody calls it that thing.
Morning to Iris Buckley. How are you doing today? Let's see, Amanda Mowdy.
April Miles. Let's see.
Melinda Rucker is up. Mail delivery Tuesday is going to be horrible for us. Oh, I didn't even thought about the mailman. Come rain, sleet, or snow.
The garbage men, too. The garbage men are out there regardless, it seems like. And, two, my son-in-law helps deliver gas and stuff. He rides on the gas trucks and stuff, and they do things with the gas company. So, hands up to them, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good morning to Teresa Westbrook. Also, Damon Reagan. Morning. Hope you're doing there. Let's see. Miss Ann Cook is up and at 'em as well, along with Sarah Martin this morning. We thank y'all for watching. And if you wouldn't mind, share, like, do all those things, and invite your friends. It gets more people involved with what we do and where we go.
Yeah.
Well, let's start talking about a few things outside of weather. Now, everything is kind of slower than normal because of what's going on in Washington. They're doing, what's the word? They're doing their darndest to hurt Donald. It is not going to like. Today, I think it starts the Republican side where they will give their comments. They're not going to get Donald on it, so they're going to have a plan B. Y'all be ready. Don't know what it is, but something else is coming very soon. Election fraud or something.
Yeah, I've heard that they've got him, you know, if you have not watched the Mike Lindell video where they're talking about...
And I have not.
Okay, if you haven't watched it, they're talking about where these votes were changed. And, you know, I would think it would be accurate. I mean, it looks very accurate to me. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it'll show, like, where IP addresses. Anyway, he was talking about in one of the states... that they've mentioned lately. I'm not going to name which one, but one of the states, there were a lot of, I'm talking about thousands of underage
voters
that were voting. There was also dead people, you know, people who passed away.
There's a lot of dead folks, I think, that voted.
There was a lot. And so I think what it was Trump had called whoever for that state and said, you know,
look into this.
Look into this, because look at these. This is how many, you know, if you just gave us the ones that were dead back and the ones that were underage back.
Might have won.
That's right. That would have been enough to overturn for that state. Well, they're not saying of course, they're not saying all of everything. And so I think that's going to be the next step, because yesterday they brought it up during the trial.
And of course, you've got the Democrats going, hey, after we showed that video of those people running the Capitol, we now have more people who are going to vote with us. Don't believe everything you read.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So, I mean, they had him saying that he was just trying to get him to give them some votes. But it was actually votes that were...
Maybe his to begin with.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway.
So that's in the news, what's going on in Washington now. And it is dominating the media. And we all know that
it's just become a freak show. I mean, pretty much. It's just, it's crazy. And there's so much more that need to be, issues that need to be addressed right now in this country.
Yeah,
besides that.
There's a lot of hatred in this country right now. We all know that.
It is. It's a lot of corruption and a lot of hate and a lot of pot stirring and a lot of division, and we all need to come together for the better of the country. But
all right, let me get the attention of Cow Creek, Mississippi. Britt, I don't know if you're up watching this morning, but this is breaking news, and I know you got a bunch of cows, and if you ever lose your cows, it's hard to get your cows back in. Have you ever been on a cow run before?
I've seen cows on the loose. We had cows in our front yard one time. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people knew Audra Bosarge, bless her heart. She's passed away now, but I remember, I don't know, I was 15, 16 years old. She had some cows out, and we were helping her, and she toted me across the creek on her back. that was funny. But Cookie, she was also known as that. But cows are smarter than you give them credit for. Let's flip over and take a look at this, and I'll blow this up where we can see this. This is cows. Let's see here. Let's blow this up here where you can see this. They're smart enough. They're in here behind this. This is an electric fence. Watch her.
She's the leader.
She undoes that, grabs it right there, and she's going to let all the other cows out.
Is that an electric?
Yes.
Electric fence. One more little inch to the left, and she might have been zapped.
Yeah, but she's a smart cow, and she lets them all out. I thought that was a pretty neat little video there. So if you got cows and you're wondering how they're getting out, that might be your clue.
You got a smart one in the bunch.
Now, we all know mothers are probably the most protective there is. What would you do if you had a peeping Tom? Well, you call the law, as this mother did. But the cops are there. They're trying to catch the guy, and he starts to run. Have you seen the video of this yet?
I have not.
All right, this is Mom standing right here. And this is on YouTube. Let's blow this up where you can see this. All right, he's fixing to try to get away.
Even if you think you can run from the cops, good luck getting past this mom.
I figured at least I could do if I got them down, tripped them up, whatever, then they, have a chance to get caught up.
That's Phyllis Pena in the red shirt.
First instinct was just to make sure he didn't go any further.
Captured on police dash cam, taking down a man.
Now, she's tough.
Yeah, they need to put a helmet and some shoulder pads on her.
That's what they were saying, that she may head off to the NFL next. But I don't know the age of her daughter. I would say 15 or 16, something like that. And I think he's a teenager too.
Well, my daughters know me. I'd have probably been that lady right there. Yeah, I probably would have.
So he's in the jailhouse now. They've taken care of that. Now this next story, I bring this up, and we'll get into the 100-car pileup here in just a moment. But this is this is Wisconsin, where we're going to go. We've all been to Dallas. We've been to these bigger cities. Even Jackson, when you come in to 55, when the roads start with the bridges.
Yeah.
When there's ice, you got to be extremely careful. Let's see here. Let me pull this up here. This is the bridge. This is the man. That's his car right there where he's going up this bridge. And let me find where it is.
Oh, my goodness.
His car comes off of it. And let me find the video. Here it is right here. Let's watch what happens here.
Hey, Robin, good morning. Yeah, that driver was just on the way to his mom's house when he went flying off that overpass. As you can imagine, he's been in a lot of pain, but he is alive and speaking with us from the hospital.
Maybe there it is.
This is the terrifying moment. A truck flips over a highway overpass just days ago in Milwaukee.
And he lived through that.
I cannot imagine.
That was a 70-foot fall is how that came about. But
thank goodness for seatbelts, because that's what kept him probably in his...
There's his truck, what's left of it. I cannot imagine. And we all have that kind of fear when you're going up those things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you hit a slick patch of ice, you have no control.
That's right.
Even and the worst thing to do is hit the brakes.
So
and this next story is horrific.
This is.
horrific.
Let me pull this up where we can see this. Now, there's several videos. This is Daily Mail where we start seeing some of the pictures here. Let me close this screen out here where you can see this picture. This is an aerial view here of where this 100 cars piled up yesterday. As we keep going, look at this.
I was watching a video this morning of it, and it was just horrible.
That right there, I'm not sure what it is, but that's a piece of a car of some sort that's squished in between those two.
Well, they had this truck right here.
Yeah, if you look there.
Yes, this truck right
this
here.
One?
There was a car right behind that white pickup truck.
Right there.
Yes, and this 18-wheeler just comes flying in. I guess these people just did not know ahead of time, obviously. And that car might have been the one that was sitting behind the truck. I mean, it's like the car just disappeared, and then the truck flew up on top. It was the most...
Here's one view of it. Let's look at this. As it comes along here. Now, I'm not sure audio, what could be said in the background here, so... There comes that FedEx truck that...
Yeah.
Now, there's several different views of this that go on with this wreck of the videos. Look at this. It's just horrible.
It is.
6 people that we know of. Look down through that.
I mean, we need to be praying because I mean, it's just awful. I have no words hardly.
Yeah.
But there was probably children involved and all
Look
kind
at
of
that
things.
right there.
It's just awful.
That is what's left of a car right there in between those two. And look at that.
Yes.
That is somebody that was sitting in that. The odds of them.
It was so awful because you sit there and you watch the pickup slide into the other cars, and they stop, and there's somebody in there just totally unexpected, and then all of a sudden you see the 18-wheeler come up behind and just slam. I mean, it's horrible. Because you're watching it unfold right there before your eyes.
And there's nothing they can do. And this is the weather that we have coming. And that's why we say, if you don't have to leave home, don't do it. You think of Meridian, 22nd Avenue Bridge. When we get a little wet stuff on that and it turns to 20 degrees, you can't cross that.
Well, when I was talking to my husband this morning, I said, I don't understand why they were going so fast to begin with that the roads had ice on them. He said, well, the roads where they were coming from probably didn't have ice. It was probably just like in that area, a big patch of black ice, and you can't
see that black ice. It's just that quick.
By the time you try to hit the brakes, there's no stopping. And so I know we sound like we're real dramatic about it, but it's something to get dramatic about. I mean, you really need to.
It's your life.
Yeah, you really need to.
And, at the end of the day, there's
Be
people
careful.
that depend upon you, so you kind of have to look out for you to help others. Does that
right.
make sense?
Yeah, and a lot of our young people, like our teenagers and stuff, they're just still new drivers. They're not used to the, even in rain situations, a lot of times it makes me nervous with my son and driving, but everybody needs to be careful.
And Kim Balking asked about the equipment area. Equipment area is going to also get some of this stuff. The ice expectancy for Clark County is. Let me pull this back up, Kim, if you're still watching here. This is Clark. This is Meridian. This is Clark County. Y'all are also in the limited threat area here of a 1. So you're going to get some stuff there. And right across in there to Lake Edens, that area also, and then Laurel, Hattiesburg. Wayne County not included in it, just due south of there. After you get out of Shibuda, it'll be all right. It won't be involved in it. But yes, ice is expected there for the equipment area. So y'all keep that in mind. I knew you wanted to know that. So let's see here. Other things that are going on today. It's a bunch of things.
It is.
We're going to the weekend.
Valentine's Day is this weekend also.
Yeah.
So, I know people probably had a lot of plans for Valentine's Day, and I'm not saying cancel them, but I'm saying you might want an alternative. If you're planning to go out or something, you might want to just be careful.
Have a candlelight there at the house with no power
Throw you a
on.
steak on the grill.
Let's take a minute and talk about Joe and the fine folks at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. And rumor is there's still bread and there's also still milk there.
That's great.
So check it out at the Piggly Wiggly. Of course, always great deals on those navel oranges, $3.99 for that 4-pound bag. Strawberries, if you love those dipped in chocolate, Joe is your man for the weekend to take care of Valentine's Day. You can get those white, yellow, or sweet onions to do all your cooking there and add a little flavor, along with mustard for the hot dog season.
Yeah.
You may be cooking hot dogs for us over this weekend.
You might be. You might be throwing them on the grill.
That's right. Ketchup, if you need some of that, along with the real mayonnaise from Piggly Wiggly. Of course, sugar. Got to have that for your coffee and whatnot.
Sweet tea.
Yeah, it ain't sweet tea without the real thing. Of course, if you need coffee creamer to get you up and started, $1.79. Sweet corn, along with the Italian or French cut green beans, 2 for $1. Piggly Wiggly brand. You can also get those Lunchables. A quick, easy, kids love those.
Yeah, they do.
Oscar Mayer, 4 for $5. You can get the chuck roast for $4.69 a pound. And New York strip steaks, $7.99 a pound for the family pack. And $4.89 for the family pack chuck steaks.
Okay.
And assorted pork chops. Who wouldn't like some of that? Coca-Cola products. We've got drinking water for you at a great price, all at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. See Joe, milk, bread, and all other great things. And, of course, something for your Valentine.
That's right. They got a little bit of everything.
It is. Let's see here. What you got planned for the weekend? Anything big?
No, nothing big. We're probably just going to cook something on the grill for the, Valentine's, because we're not going to get out in that.
Do y'all still newlywed enough to where you want to do candles and stuff like that?
I always have candles all around the house, so that's an everyday thing for me. Y'all, if you hear my stomach growling, Scotty Ray can hear it.
I
might be
about
digging into this king cake over here.
A flashlight. I want to be able to see what I'm eating. I don't like restaurants have the low lit. I can't stand
Now,
that.
I do like a candlelight, to go out, but at home, I don't do that at home.
I couldn't read the menu if they had it.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, now I can't now without reading glasses. I have to have my reading glasses, but
Well, as we turn to a few things that went on this date, it was Abe Lincoln. He was born in 1809 on this date. He grew up poor and then went on to become a lawyer, and, he finally made it to the White House. That's one of the things that happened today. Lauren Greene, who could forget Ben Cartwright?
Yep, I remember him.
Did you realize that Lauren Greene was also a singer?
I did not.
He did. He did have a #1 single called Ringo at one time. I don't have it handy. The best I remember, he was not my style of singer.
Yeah.
The best I remember. But he did play a great part as Ben Cartwright. I always recognize the horse from miles away. Meridian's own Mo Bandy celebrates a birthday today, born in 1944. When Mo came along, that would put him at 76. Is that about right? I believe so. I believe that'd be right. And of course, if you'll remember back some of the songs, You Cheated Me Right Out of You, Bandy the Rodeo Clown. Do you remember Hank Williams, You Wrote My Life? It's a cheating situation. And then you get into all the songs that him and Joe Stampley did, Just Good Old Boys. Great songs. Where's the Dress? Also did Too Old to Die Young. That was probably his last big hit. But a big made Meridian famous, and Mo Bandy was one of the greatest that there ever was. So a little trip down memory lane there.
Yeah.
It was 1993. Him and Shania Twain, the record labels put them together and they sent them out to a bunch of Walmarts. That had never been done before. They put them together and well, it worked for both of them.
Lord.
Toby Keith released it today. Should have been a cowboy.
Lord, at the hairstyle he has in that
Yeah,
picture.
that was what did you call that back then?
That's like a mullet. I mean, to me.
It was big in the day.
Yeah.
Mullets. But that song will forevermore go down in history. Were you a fan of this guy?
No.
He was acquitted on this date in 1999 of all crimes. So Bill walked away scot-free at the end. Tom T. Hall was inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame on this date back in 2008. Tom T. is one of my favorites. Of course, one of the big songs that he wrote that everybody else recorded was "That's How I Got to Memphis." You remember that song? Loved it. It did the Ballad of $40.
No, he's still. I mean, he's still living.
Yes,
now.
he's still living.
I want to say that when I got to go to the Greendale Opry, he was there, and I
Really?
got to. Yeah, he walked right in front of us along with little Jimmy Dickens when he was still out. Yeah, so
And of
that
course,
was neat.
wrote Harper Valley PTA was one of
did.
those. And then one
I
of the
love that song.
It's great.
That's a good song.
And if you've never listened to the song, look this up today, Homecoming. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Tom T. wrote that about always being from home, and he goes home to visit his dad, and he was on the road playing somewhere, and his mom passed away. He didn't get to make it to the funeral. Just it really puts it in light of those who have to work away from home and what they miss. It'll almost make you cry before the song's over.
Yeah,
It's reality.
I don't need to cry. My emotions stay on high all the time now anyway.
Now, this next story, I'm shocked that anybody would buy it because I think everybody in America had already seen it because Madonna was wild. But on this date in 2009, they auctioned off a naked picture of her. And I'll say naked instead of nude. But she did the picture when she was 18 she was 20. Didn't have much money, trying to get by. It sold at auction for $37,000. I think she's shown whatever she has several times since. And over and over.
Yeah.
Also, what was it? Taylor Swift, back in 12, won a Grammy for that song, Mean. And of course, Mean was a pretty good little song because it talked about being in high school and people picking on her.
Bullying her, yeah.
And that did happen. It was a sad day in 2018 on this date because we lost one of the greatest there ever was. Daryl Singletary, I'll let her lie. He passed away on this day in 18 at the age of 46.
What happened with him? Do you
I
remember?
think it was a heart attack, if I remember right. And of course, he hung around Randy Travis's bus until Randy finally talked to him, and Randy Travis is what got Daryl Singletary his record deal.
Okay.
He worked it for him. I liked him a lot. Let's see here. As we move to Mississippi news of what's going on nationwide, they have identified a body that was found 3 years ago, the skeletal remains, and they've put it to somebody through DNA. And it's good to know that they found out. It takes care of things for some family members there. That was down in Gulfport. And
It's amazing what they can do with DNA stuff now.
yeah,
you
and
know.
there's a lot of science involved.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I'm not going to say I'm the smartest whippersnapper with science, but I'm glad it's there.
I am too. I'm glad it's there.
So did you do a lot of watching of the CSI TV shows?
I watched a good many of them. I did.
Was it Horatio, the redheaded guy? Of course, he was in Rambo. You remember that? He was one of the cops that arrested Rambo. Horatio with his glasses and that stare.
Yeah.
But the episode that I remember was they solved a crime because they got a fingerprint off a handkerchief. Now, I ain't a smart man, but
How do you put a fingerprint on a handkerchief?
people break into your houses around here and they still have fingerprint problem getting fingerprints off the doorknobs.
I guess if it was like dust on your finger and you got it on that, maybe that way or something.
I called it one of those I ain't believing that.
Yeah.
But they did have some of those stories on those shows that were interesting, that really got your attention. A Mississippi Sheriff's Office is needing your help identifying a woman. They have found a deceased body, and she has a bunch of tattoos on her. She's described, this is on the coast where they found her. She's described as a white woman between the age of 30 and 50, 5'4" height, weighed between 140 and 160. She had brown hair with dark red hair. It says that she had distinguishing tattoos on her. Included a skull with an angel with wings in the chest area, somewhere along in here. a small skull and crossbones with a pink bow, as well as a large skull with a pink bow and pink stars below the upper right arm shoulder. And then both forearms had blue and black star tattoos on it. And then her right ankle had a tattoo that had the word sin with N spelled backwards. So if that describes anybody you might know, that's pretty distinctive.
Yeah, that is.
Call the sheriff's office that we've got here. If you need that number again, we'll be glad to post that and give that to you. I hope they find out who she is. And,
that's awful. You know, you just...
Nothing worse than a family member not knowing what happened to someone.
That's right. I mean, I would want to know, as bad as it would be.
Yeah, to
I
get
would
news
want
like
to know,
that.
To have closure, you know.
William Beckham wanted to know when the weather is coming. Sunday night is going to be the worst for us. We do have some chances tomorrow morning early of some stuff coming down. If you've got to go to Jackson in the morning, I'd approach all bridges in between now and there just to be on the safe side very cautiously. Good morning. Is the 12th going to get ice? 12th Street. Scoop. Yes, it is. Matter of fact, you will be getting some. So be ready for this. Let's see here. Need a pan of biscuits.
He does need to put on a pan of biscuits.
Boy, some biscuits with some syrup would be good about
Some
right now, wouldn't
sausage.
it?
I'm about to starve. Okay, we got to quit talking about food because my stomach's going to get...
Tammy Lover and Cooley said that most of us Southerners can't drive in rain, especially not in the ice, sleet, or snow, and ready for our northern friends to come retrieve the weather back so they can come pick it up.
Well, when my daughter moved to Colorado, they had to immediately buy snow tires and stuff for their vehicles. So when they moved back down here, they don't have the tires on their vehicles anymore. And I told her, but they still have the tires. I was like, yeah, I might want to put them on.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Good morning to Rachel Garrison, also watching this morning. No, we do not know what we're doing when it comes to all this snow. It catches us off guard.
It's kind of it's kind of a trial and error thing. You just kind of hope that you're making the right decision to do this or that. But the best decision, though, like we said, is to just, if you don't have to get out in it, you know, if it's ice. Now, snow, I mean, you know, if it dusts a little snow, you want to get out and ride around and look at it. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Ice is different. Now, I'm going to be very cautious how I word this next story because I'm not sure there's a way that I can word it. I don't know. So what I'm saying is what this is leading to, the reason I included this story is because I think it promotes a lot of lawsuits that will be flooding from this. People that change their mind on the subject later. Okay, let's go ahead and throw this up so you won't think I'm stupid here. But in California, they're going to make a law, and I'm going to handle this the best way I know. Whoopi, we'll call it Whoopi.
Yeah, intimacy.
Yeah, that word that I'll pronounce wrong. But you have, what's the word?
If you're
engaged.
While in the act, if you're using protection and you
were to remove the protection.
That's right. It is against the law.
Yeah, they will make that to where you could sue that person
if
they
the other person's not
consenting to it.
Right.
But how would you consent to that? How would you ever prove?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a touchy situation. I mean, crazy. But,
because I've even heard that people will say, I love you in the heat of a moment and not really mean it.
Yeah. Well,
so how do you prove it?
I don't know. Yeah, that's
I just see that being a mess.
Yeah. I guess the best thing is if you're with somebody and you kind of don't trust them. I mean,
get the app out that we mentioned yesterday that's coming out and make them do a consent form.
Yeah, right.
So that's the best way I know how to put that. So brought to you live here. Ted Cruz, smarter than you think. Have y'all seen this yet about MSNBC trying to fact check poor old Ted?
No, I did not see the whole thing. All I saw was where, she had to apologize.
Yeah, and she has apologized. He used a quote from Shakespeare, from Macbeth. And Smarty Britches here reads it, and she goes, oh, no, Faulkner done that. So she jumps on him automatically. Well, it turns out that Faulkner quoted Shakespeare instead of it being Faulkner. So she was it wrong, and she had to eat crow. And one for old Ted there.
But that crow tasted good.
Yeah, it was. And, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Macbeth?
I mean, we had to read all of that in senior English. We had to do all kind of stuff. But I just was trying to get through it.
I'm not sure that I could remember any of it.
Yeah, I don't remember the details of it. Miss Horn, if she was watching, would be like, I can't believe
But Ted,
we had a senior English teacher, y'all, Miss Horn.
and she was
a one of a kind.
Was she?
I mean, she was, and she was on, like, she knew her stuff. She didn't even have to pick the book up. She knew it. And she's actually, I think she's like a renowned author of like different things in like Mississippi Magazine and stuff like that. But she, of course, I think she's older now. But she was a great teacher. But she was definitely one of a kind.
Well, there you go.
I know she knew Macbeth and by heart.
I've glanced at the stuff, and it's very hard for me to interpret what he really meant.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to understand that kind of stuff.
But Ted can quote stuff like that.
That's good. I'm glad.
Ted's got it going on. Mm-hmm. We brought you the story when this happened the day before the Super Bowl. One of the coaches there had been drinking, jumps in his car to leave the stadium, and hits a car that is out of gas. Children were in the back. They were injured. He has been fired and is no longer employed by the Kansas City Chiefs as this investigation goes on with the child that had life-threatening injuries. Mm-hmm. So he's without a job now. Shouldn't have been drinking and driving, period.
That's right.
This I have never seen. I didn't even know this was out there. But the two girls, that Lily Tomlin and what's the other one's name?
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, which I'm not a big fan of, is doing a show called Grace and Frankie.
I've never heard of that.
I didn't either. But Dolly is going to do an appearance on it, and it'll put all three of them back together for the first time since 9 to 5. And I think this is one of those streamed shows.
Okay.
So I would assume Netflix is where you would find it, but Dolly to make a cameo on there.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, didn't know all that. Learning.
I did like the movie 9 to 5 though.
Funny.
It was a cute movie.
The guy that he went on to went on to play in the Beverly Hillbillies as Mr. Drysdale, whatever his name was. He was funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
Miss Jan. Are you a big Game of Thrones fan?
I'm not.
I made it to season.
I don't watch that stuff.
It's pretty good stuff now.
I've heard of it.
Only made it to season 3 where Joffrey dies, and I hadn't went back to watch the ending of it. But so many people love this Game of Thrones. They're going to do a prequel to it now, and it's going to be called, what is the name of this thing? House of the Dragon. So they're going to start filming before long on this. So if you're a big Game of Thrones fan, they've got something else for you coming.
Okay.
Gosh, I have so many. I'm still trying to get caught up on Blacklist. I hadn't watched the last season yet. And I love me some Blacklist.
So do you watch it on like HBO or do you have...
We got the streaming thing where you go back to Netflix and you can watch them back, like all the episodes.
See, our Netflix is on... It's to get to it, you got to do all this logging in, and I don't do all that. Like, if it takes all that, I can just
You just want to punch the channel?
Yeah, I don't like doing
streaming. May not be for you.
It's probably not. I don't like all that extra stuff that I have to do.
But also you can, if you've got a smart TV. Speaking of all that stuff, you can hit a button and throw this up on your smart TV to where you see this in full screen if you want to watch it that way instead of on your phone.
Is a smart. I guess I need a smart TV.
Smart TV would probably make it a whole lot easier for you.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking at pictures on the couch, you can hit a button on your phone now and throw it up on the TV where you can see it on the screen. You know all that?
Well, I did know that it will do all that, but it kind of freaks me out, smart TVs, because, we have one at work, and if you're not in view of it or whatever, it'll turn off. It'll go into sleep mode because
if
you're
you
not
don't touch it for
it.
2 or 3 hours, it will.
So that's just odd to me.
Nah, you get used to it. Because you're going to touch TV volume sometime in a 3-hour period.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
That's just my thoughts.
We just listen to the
music channel
at work, yeah.
Linda Carter's husband has passed away. And Wonder Woman, they've been married for 37 years. That's quite a while.
That's awful when you lose somebody like that you've been
That's your
together
soulmate.
for so long.
Died on February the 3rd. I think his name was Robert. Krispy Kreme in downtown Atlanta, Shaq O'Neal owned it. He is the guy that does all those general commercials. He was a basketball player. He is an entrepreneur. He owns a little bit of everything. But this was a real famous Krispy Kreme donuts that was started in the 60s, has burned to the ground. He says he's going to go back and rebuild it and put it back in business.
But there's a lot of sad donut
A lot of memories
eaters.
Gone.
Yeah. Krispy Kreme donuts are so good.
They are the best. There ain't nobody that compares.
Like
you can bring up the others.
Into a cloud.
It is. I never heard it mentioned as a cloud.
Because they're so light and
Now,
fluffy.
tell me if I'm wrong. The closest Krispy Kreme that we've got to Meridian, Mississippi is Tuscaloosa. Am I right?
I don't know, but they sell them in the grocery store every day.
Yeah, but
So,
it takes
I
it a
don't know.
while to get shipped here, doesn't it?
It might.
It's not
I
like
don't know.
walking in and that. Y'all know that little soft feeling you get.
We have a guy, or used to have a guy. He comes around selling peanuts. I think he has to do with a church or something in Meridian. Super, super nice guy. I wish I knew his name because I'd tell him or tell him thank you on here. But he comes around our shop all the time selling boiled peanuts, and then he'll come selling Krispy Kreme donuts. And we're like, we all trying to lose weight, and here he comes with the Krispy Kremes. Of course, you know.
Now that you brought that up, it reminds me of a kid. And the traveling salesman is gone. There used to be this gentleman that drove around. Mayhat used to be the lady that kept me. And he had from pots and pans to gum to you name it, he had it in his car and he sold out of his trunk. And once a month, he made his rounds to everybody's house. Do y'all remember that little guy?
I don't remember anybody with pots and pans, but no, we do also have a guy that comes around selling vegetables all the time. I think he goes around town. And he always has a bunch in the back of his truck. He comes in and tells us what he's got for the day, and he sells vegetables. But I don't remember anybody doing pots and pans.
Yeah, he drove a '67 Impala. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I do remember making the meat guy that come around selling steaks. You remember?
Yes, the meat guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he got this particular one got aggravated with me one day because I wouldn't let him come in my house. I don't want any steaks today, and you ain't coming up in my house and laying out all that stuff. I don't even know you. So he got aggravated with me that day. I don't know who he was, but that was years ago. But yeah.
I would have loved to have dropped you in one of those Amway presentations. I bet you'd have. I actually made somebody pack up their stuff one night and leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did. You know, if you love the Amway thing, great, but don't try to give me this dream of something that ain't real. And I was questioning, and the guy didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I never became an Amway salesman, by the way. I think I was barred.
I watched the rainbow vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Well, the other night I was watching an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, like a rerun or something, and it was a vacuum cleaner. They didn't call it a rainbow, but that's exactly what it looked like. And they come in and they do this demonstration. You know, when they first come in, you're like, I ain't buying a vacuum cleaner. You know, this thing's gonna be like thousands.
I know where you're going with this.
And so then they come in and they do all this stuff. You know, they vacuum all that. Look at all this. You know, and they have a thing of water in the bottom of it that's clear when they start. And when they finish vacuuming over your furniture, it's like black. The black, murky, muddy looking water. And you're like, oh my gosh, like that is in my furniture. And so, of course, you buy one.
You can't help it.
You can't help but buy one. And so years ago, I sat through, a demonstration.
Did you buy one?
It wasn't me. It was at the time my boyfriend's parents. And I remember his dad being so skeptical when the guy come in. Oh, listen to this mess, you know. And then I just remember him being so amazed. Yeah, they bought one.
Seeing is believing. And you're right, that rainbow will suck dirt out of places that you didn't know you had.
You can just turn it on in the middle of a room, and it like filters, it like pulls the air in and cleans it, and it's amazing.
So thumbs up on the rainbow.
Right, if they still selling them, I don't even know if
they do. I think Michael Hurd sells those, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's Electrolux.
Electrolux, yeah.
But I think they do the same thing, yeah. But, it's just amazing.
You're right, that's what Michael said.
Yeah, that's what Karen is his wife. But... yeah, I sat through one of those. It's so funny because when they first come in, you're like, I am not buying this.
Next thing you know.
And then by the time they leave, they have got you sold, products. But anyway.
Good morning to Candace Fuller watching this morning. We appreciate it. Also, Rachel Garrison is watching. Mm-hmm. And let's see, Carolyn Knight mentioned Columbus, and Linda said Columbus also.
Yes.
Has Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
Didn't realize they had one, but I love those donuts. And I want the plain. I want none of that funky sprinkle stuff. I want a glazed donut is what I love.
Yeah, and those Lee's donuts. Have you had those?
Yes,
Lee's
I've had them.
Meridian, those are so good too.
So, donut queen.
I tried to make donuts out of biscuits. Have you ever done that?
No.
Yeah, I saw a
How'd
recipe.
they go?
They're not good. They're not like the store-bought ones. I just say that. They're all right. I like to burn them up, though.
Bless your
heart. They were brown. Very brown donuts.
There you go. Let's see here what else is happening in the news today. You know, the songwriter, the singer in country music, Morgan Wallen, that's gotten in trouble for using a racial slur. Mm-hmm. One of the songs that he sang, the songwriter of it is going to donate the profits of it to the NAACP to try to make up for what he feels was injustice done. So that's out there today. It's a guy named Isabel. So more power to you there, brother. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Can you imagine being banned from Mount Everest?
Yeah, that would be kind of, well, I would never go to Mount Everest.
That ain't my thing. But there's some people that get into this climbing. It was two guys, there were two Indian climbers that, well, it turns out they faked it. They acted like they went, and they photoshopped their picture. Everybody fell through it. 3 years later, they found out the truth, and now they can never go back.
Oh, my goodness.
It's as bad as being banned from Twitter.
It is.
Let's see here. And speaking of Twitter, let's go ahead and bring up this story here. They went back into this yesterday, and they confirmed that Donald, even if he were to be reelected president in 24, would not be allowed to come back on Twitter. Now, are we getting to a stage to where these companies are getting bigger than their britches? Because if you go back and you remember, MySpace thought they were the answer to everything. You don't even know MySpace nowadays.
Yeah, that's right.
There's always another company that is inches away from taking you down. No matter what your business is, if you don't stay on top of your game, it can happen to you. We don't know that Twitter will be something in 3 to 4 years from now.
That's right. I mean, you never know from day to day what's going to be out there for you and what's not. I mean,
because you keep pushing people, they're going to find something else that suits them better.
Right.
Just saying.
And our government that we have, don't count your chickens before they hatch, because none of us will have a business.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know,
Boy, you want to talk about a good deed. Here's one of those great feel-good stories that you just don't see every day. A Chick-fil-A employee, she was 17 years old. She went to a company Christmas party. She won a car. This was in Wisconsin. She had a coworker that rode a bicycle 2 hours a day just to get to work. Instead of taking the car for herself, she gives it to the employee that works with her. Now, is that not a good deed?
That is a good deed. That's very nice.
Now, and I want to say that she still owed on the car that she was driving, and then they got together a little fundraiser and paid off her car for her as a good deed for what she did.
That is so nice.
So, thumbs
Paying
up.
it forward. I wish people were more like that all over the world. I mean, there is a lot of good people like that. There is. I just wish that people would.
You're wanting some Anne Murray, a little good news today is what you're after.
Yep.
So, something to think on there. Larry King did leave a will. It was handwritten. He wrote it in his bed. And, he didn't leave anything to the ex-wife.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he left it all to the kids. Told them to split it 5 ways equally. So that's what's going to happen. I think he was worth $50 million plus. So each child should get roughly about $10 million each.
So I wonder, is a handwritten will, is that...
If you've got a witness.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I mean, if he didn't have a witness or it wasn't notarized or whatever, is it as good as the paper it's on, or, is it?
We'll have to get an attorney in on
Yeah,
this.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I don't know all the legal. I could tell you wrong legal advice. I don't know, but I know the handwritten thing will stand up if.
Okay.
So, I'm backing into a corner that I don't know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I was just wondering. I just was wondering if it was, if it would be.
It could be
replace
contested.
a regular.
It could be contested, I'm sure.
Okay.
But there you go. And that's why you have everything go down, have it notarized, and then recorded in a book somewhere in case another one shows up sometime, and you go, here's this one.
Yeah.
Now, we brought this up here yesterday about, where did it go? This young lady here that was fired from Star Wars. Well, let me find this story. I got it over here. It turns out 2 years ago, there was a different story, and Disney did nothing about this. As we go down this, she the one who posted the thing about comparing the government to what happened to the Jewish people. This was posted last year. You remember 2 years ago when the big issue of the children being locked in cages, somebody that worked for Disney put this out there. They'd done nothing to them. And people were going, okay, Disney, if you're going to get the right side, you need to take care of the left side. So it's a call for Disney to do something. That's shocking, number one, but that is in the news today. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, obviously there's double standards all over the place today.
Yeah.
So.
This story here, I don't know that I understand everything there is about it. And me and Candace was talking about it before we went on. And as you pointed out, I guess it could be maybe a love affair in his mind.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's people, and I don't even know if that's the situation here, but it's kind of odd that the way things happened with this story. Go ahead and tell the story about kind of what happened.
This lady was elected to Congress. She's a new one. She's a Republican. This guy right here worked for her. He was her campaign communications director. She did not hire him as a full-time person when she went on and took the job. He goes up to her home and commits suicide in her front yard. Doesn't knock on the door. She didn't even know he done it. They heard something, but they kept on doing what they were doing. But he committed suicide in her yard. Now, that is some kind of odd.
That is odd. I mean, sometimes people, I don't know that like we said, if it's the situation, but sometimes people are obsessed with other people and they do crazy stuff like that. I don't know. It's just odd. But like I said, maybe that's the reason she didn't hire him, because she knew he had a screw.
Yeah, it may be.
I don't know. Maybe.
Weird.
Maybe he wasn't counting with a full deck.
Yeah, that could be the problem there. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply, wide open since 1932. And let me say this, if you want to be prepared, go by and get you some salt for your sidewalks and things that you're going to have to be prepared for if you get ice on your steps or in front of your business. Get that taken care of. Have you a couple bags to the side in case you need to dump that out to make it safe to walk in your area. Be prepared. Because they've got all you need there at the Farm Supply. And, of course, spring, believe it or not, as cold as it is this weekend, is right around the corner. Yes. Folks will be in their gardens taking care of things. You'll need fertilizer and a whole lot of other things. And even though the cold weather, it doesn't kill the virus, so you still need some cleaning wipes.
Yeah. Keep those in your car handy. Those are good to have.
Always have your extra T-shirt and Mobucks. They got plenty of those. Those are popular along with the shirts and T-shirts and hats. Still got some jean sales going on there with the Carhartts at $20. One of the most.
Deal.
It is.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
There's nothing worse. And ladies, I have to respect you when it comes to high heels. How you can handle that all day. I could not. I would be called what you call a weenie dog when it comes to something like that, because I couldn't do it. I like to be comfortable, and if you want that, Georgia Boots has what you want. If you stand on your feet, you work outside all day or in a mechanic shop, this is the boot for you. Georgia Boots. And, of course, mud boots, you'll need those during this ice and muddy times, and along with My Buddy heaters. Keep you warm. And as you're working on things, you'll want to keep warm.
Yes.
Along with your tanks to keep them going. Cameras for security. That is one of the big things that we have to do, is protect what you've got, because it can happen in the blink of an eye, and you need proof of what went on. Have these that'll take pictures of it. And, of course, all your seed, feed, wheat, any type of horse and cattle feed with corn, you'll need a little bit extra this weekend to take care of your cattle and all. As we get into guns and ammunition, it's all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply this weekend. Now, Candace, let's go back and recap for those that are just kind of tuned in late, and recap some weather of what we're expecting over the weekend. Let's talk forecast.
Okay.
As we go into today, we have a 60% chance of rain through about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's going to be cold, blistery out there with 20-mile-an-hour gust. High temp is only 44. Tonight, 70% chance of rain, 36 for a low. We'll get into tomorrow with 60% chance of rain. All is good, high of 43. Now, tomorrow night, we get our first chance of 20% chance of freezing rain after midnight through daylight. Low is going to be 31. So there is a chance that tomorrow morning, depending upon how much falls, we could have some issues with bridges.
Yes.
As we move into Saturday night, Sunday morning, a 30% chance of freezing rain through about 9 o'clock that morning. So this could impact church time majorly.
Yes.
30%.
Yeah, so y'all just be careful. If you do decide to go on to church, just be very careful. Leave early so you don't have to drive fast.
You're right.
Be careful.
20% chance of this stuff continuing and sleet before midnight on Sunday night. Now, when you wake up on President's Day, it's going to be 80% chance of rain, high of 40. This is where it gets bad. All during the day, conditions start going down. 60% chance of freezing rain and sleet is likely, and our low will be 20 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour gust.
That's right. So all that rain that falls during the day on Monday is going to freeze.
That's right.
On Monday night. So it's going to be a mess. And like we said yesterday, the high on Tuesday is 39.
Yeah.
But even if it's above freezing temps, it doesn't always mean that it's going to melt everything if the wind is up.
Tuesday night, we got a low of 26 with a slight chance, a 20% chance of snow and sleet.
Yes.
So, and these
on top of the
right.
Yeah, it's going to be messy.
And this could
regardless.
change, temperature-wise, could change things just a tad either way. So we want you to be prepared, be ready for whatever comes our way over the next 48, 36 hours. We got some stuff that's going to impact us pretty roughly. So keep it in mind. As we mentioned, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and Tiffany Blue would love to invite you down to her decor boutique.
That's right. If your wife loves paintings and she loves farmhouse and rustic style decor, Tiffany Blue is the place you need to go check out for Valentine's Day, birthday, any occasion.
Right,
or just
20% off
because.
this weekend as well.
20%. That's great. And she's located in Atrium, the Atrium Mall, and on Highway 493 at North Hills in Meridian. She's also got the Rustic Couture in Quitman on 512 North Archesa Avenue.
You got a booth in there also.
That's right. But
now, is this that's an egg right there, isn't it? That's an Easter Bunny egg.
It is. It is.
And, of course, Easter bunnies, tables, anything that you would want there. And, of course, these are real popular, as you mentioned, in the kitchen there, of hanging around, having your different towels there.
Yeah. I call them tea towels. That's what a lot of people call them, dish towel type things that you can hang them over your little bar on your, anywhere in the kitchen. I mean,
of course, you got pillows, bunny rabbits, if you're looking for things of this nature. And, of course, a big old pink bunny rabbit just to add to it. And pillows, too. A lot of those.
That's right.
If you can think of it, she's got it when it comes to decor to make your home look a little bit better and dress it up. Go by and see all these different things. Again, she's got a booth at the Atrium and also one at the Rustic Couture.
Right.
Boy, I'm getting better at these words that I can't pronounce.
Yeah. Also, you can go to Facebook and you'll get 10% off at the register if you look her up on Facebook and check in to the Tiffany Blue Boutique.
Check it all out. It's there. She'll take care of you. I'd love to visit with you as well. Well, as we head into the weekend, I will be on numerous times telling you about what we have coming. If you wouldn't mind, like and share my page so that others will know about this. Share it out there to where they'll see it, because there are a few people still that may not know that I do this anymore, and we want you to be a part of it.
That's right. And not only is Scotty Ray accurate, like I said earlier.
Well, thank you, girl.
He is location on point. Like he'll tell you exactly where things are located, what's happening there, and like he showed you earlier, he even has the video cameras of all these different places where he can show you exactly what's going on.
As we look back at radar, let's quickly look at this before we go to, in case you've got to travel somewhere this morning. As we pull up radar here, let me push this button here. We zoom in on this. Now, this is where we are, Meridian here. We got a little bit of sprinkles here. We turn on our locations, and we look north here of Newton, just north of Decatur. This is going to be Highway 15 as you're going in between there and the Dollar General. Light stuff there. And, of course, this is going to be over here at the Little Rock Post Office, just to the north of there as you head toward Union. As we come up north of here a little bit, as we get out of Philadelphia, this is going to be out here at Arlington, where the Baptist Church sits there at the fork there, where you can turn left there. Right there. You get on up into Noxapater. Louisville, still getting a little bit of this wintry mix this morning here. So be careful there. Light showers cutting across Crawford if you're going up through Brooksville, past the KFC. Mississippi State showing that it's got a little bit of the stuff coming down now all around Starkville, just west of where the campus is. Now, as we go back, let's back out over here and go over here to the western side of the state. Let me turn that off. And let me do this and update since something went wrong there. And then go back to this. And here we go. As we get over here, we're still showing south of Vicksburg. This is Highway 61 out of Vicksburg as you go down toward Port Gibson right there. That's where the ruins of Windsor is that you always see those pictures of. This is where that is. Some mix in that area also. And again, this whole purple area on the west side of the state is under winter weather advisory until noon today. We'll watch that. There's going to be more issued before this is all said and done. So a quick overview of what you got going on there.
And when I said a while ago, he's got video camera. He has access to all these live stream video cameras that's going on.
And it's good to be able to see.
Around. Yeah, it is. I think it's a neat thing to be able to see, especially on these highways. You can tell, if people are just inching along because you think, or you can tell there's ice on the road.
Right.
A lot of times by looking. But
I want to say good. I think a lot of Mr. Jim, Jim and Diane Harris watching this morning. I hadn't had a chance to see Mr. Jim in a while. I hope you're doing good. It's we've been in and out of church with this pandemic. It's been a while since I got to see you. Hope everything's good for you this morning.
Yes.
Miss Melissa Dennison, what about New Orleans area? Yeah, New Orleans, that area also going to get a little taste of this. So a lot of bridges down there. And my next update, I'll go further south and do a big in-depth look at all of that for you, Melissa, because I know you travel back and forth from Meridian in that area also. I'll look closer to that. Further south you go, it will get a little bit better, but that area is going to be impacted as well. Linda Jane wants to wish us a happy Valentine's Day early. To
Happy
everyone.
Valentine's to you, Miss Linda,
I hope you get you a meal
and
out of this.
everybody. Hope everybody has a good Happy Valentine's Day.
I don't know what everybody does in Kemper County since the back porch is gone. It's a thing of the past. And I think most people will always get a smile when you think of Patricia and the back porch cafe that was in Kemper County. That was quite the place to go dine.
Are you talking about the little store down there?
No, she moved to
She
Wahala.
moved. Okay, I never went to the back porch thing. I just went to the little store where they always did the lunches and everything there. She was a mess.
And then, after she closed that down, she went to Clarkdale for a little while.
Okay.
The neat thing about Patricia is you just never knew what was going to come out of her mouth.
I was just fixing to say that. And she had the most welcoming phrases when everybody come in the door. It wasn't just how you doing. It was she'd slip a few extra words.
Yes, she would. I've seen preachers blush.
Yeah. She was one of a kind for sure.
But a great friend, and it's hard to believe that she's no longer with us. What a lady! She was a handful there. Scuba, Mississippi, born and
She was
raised.
entertaining for the day when you go in there and get your lunch.
Of course she was.
Anyway, we hope y'all do have a good weekend this weekend. I'm fixing to head to my next job. So,
You go, girl.
for the day. Go do some hair.
Long day?
Yeah, just not real long, till maybe like 2. So.
Oh, and just an update on everybody. For the young lady who used the Gorilla Glue in her hair, it's all been taken care of. I may have mentioned it, but that guy did donate his time, the plastic surgeon, a $12,000 fee. He waived it, and she now no longer has the Gorilla Glue in her hair.
That's right. A little bit of common sense goes a real long way. Like, don't put glue in your hair.
And you always look at these bottles and you go, why would they put this on a bottle? There you go. Here's your sign.
Yeah. Because you think, who would do that? Well, somebody did.
Yeah. They're out there.
They're
They're
those
special.
people. Right.
All right.
Right.
Thank you for dropping by and spending a few moments with us here as we always go down south with Scotty Ray and Candace. Thanks, and we'll be back with more weather on the way.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by